Hello, this is just going to be a quick video on how I clean my PC. I have, and I'll put in the description, custom filters. The ones that come with the Lian Li XL have much bigger holes and it's more rigid than this. This is a lot better, it's a lot finer, more air passes through and it catches a lot more dust. And this strip bit here is magnetic. It comes with a set that goes underneath. You've got the back side of it, top, rear, there's loads of them come with it. Really like them, a lot easier, and I do find it stops a lot more dust from getting in, and the airflow actually improved, because even though it doesn't have big holes, it's got so many fine holes that the air just passes right through it. Really good. Again, it'll be in the description of which ones I use. The other thing is, every now and again I'll run the Hoover over the case fan, so I won't touch electrical components with the Hoover because of the whole static thing. But now and again I'll do that on there, and I'll sometimes do it on the actual fins of the radiator, which is on the back side. But the main thing I use, and the thing which I should have bought years ago, is a blower. It's fairly simple, they're just on and off. Start from probably about 30 quid, gone to about 60 in the UK, depending on which one you get. These things are powerful. You get different attachments you can fit onto the end of them, and all you're basically doing is, honestly they're so strong, is you're aiming and you're just blowing dust out of your components, and then you can just hoover up around the room or whatever it is. You can put them in the back of the radiators where your fin is and just blow through. The only thing is, if you're going to get really close, and especially if you're going to do your GPU fans, is I would hold onto the fan blade with one finger and then blow. You don't want this thing blown as fast as it can do and spinning these, especially if it's going to spin them the way they're not meant to spin as well. So I'll just hold on to it and then blow. And these things can just absolutely get rid of all dust in all the nooks and crannies. It's kind of like a massive version of the tins that you can buy with a little tiny little nozzle on, which I never used to like. It meant to just clean your PC with, but they were always pointless. I've seen people take these down to like petrol or filling stations where there's air pumps and use that to actually clean the PC, and this is just like basically just doing it at home. So again, wish I'd found one and started doing it years ago, because it makes life so much easier. Just like once every couple of months, if it's really bad, depending on where you live and how much dust you get in your machine, you can literally just blow it out of your PC. Your room's going to be full of dust and you're going to have to hoover your room and stuff, but it can just get rid of so much of these things. They're a godsend. The only other changes is that I ended up changing, forgive all the cables, I'm still in the middle of changing things. The speaker system, I did have the Samsung Q990B, I'm trying to remember now. It was very nice, and if you're limited for room and you don't want the hassle, it's a good way to go. But I just found it was lacking bass, and it's got extra speakers and on things on it now, which is meant to do the whole firing up and firing left and right and all this kind of stuff. But it didn't feel like it was genuine surround. It felt like it was the old thing from years ago. I always remember a thing called virtual surround, where it's trying to make something sound like it was surround, and this is what it was doing with some of the Atmos and some of the other things. It didn't feel genuine. So I ended up doing something which I should have done years ago. I ended up going for the full system. This is the Marantz 7015. It came out about 2 years ago, but I need to take that sticker off. I'm still in the process of testing it and getting used to these things. This is only a 5.1 system at the moment, until I do the height speakers, which will be height front and height back. But my god, what a difference. It's the Monitor Audio Bronze 200s, this set of speakers. Really smart that these are actually magnetic, so if you want them off or on, it's up to you. Obviously testing the old Mad Max. But yeah, really nice. Hold subwoofer at the back, and then I'll show you The rears. Now, out of everything, these are the things that actually impress me the most. I think they're called FX or something. Normally with a standard rear, because this is just a standard rear, it's not an up-firing one. I need to get a height channel, which will go up on the ceiling and that for that. Normally with just a rear, you basically have the speaker that faces one way and that's it. This has got this main speaker there, but it's also got the tweeters on either side of it. Now the strange thing is, when you're listening to it, instead of the rear kind of going that way, it's expanding the sound all around. So when stuff happens behind you, it's not like just here. There's a wider scope for it. And it makes a hell of a difference. Out of the rear speakers I've heard in my life, even the ones that actually come with the up-firing, this is way better. Really, really impressed with this. So like I say, once I get a bit more money, I will look into doing the height speakers. But this 5.1 system is way better sounding than the sound bar which went back, which was, I'm trying to think what they classed that as. I think they were classing that as a 9.1 or 9.2 or something. I think it was 9.1. I think they were classing it. But this is much better sounding. But yeah, can't rate these enough. Oh. And then you've got the one in the middle, there's one on that side as well. The only difference with the rear one is they actually have the old push-ins. I'm not going to get it in properly with one hand, I'm not going to take the risk. And back again. But yeah, so there's not a great deal to mention at this moment in time. Car's working grand. Going to be eyeing up the 78 100 3DX when that comes out. See if it is going to be as good as what they're claiming it's going to be. But at the moment, the bigger issue seems to be more, not so much on the PC side of things, but on the game side, where these new games that are coming out, and developers seem to be not really putting much effort into doing conversions for the PC. Consoles are always going to get the love because it's where the money is, but the PC ones have been really, really sloppy recently. I know there's the Callisto project. There was Dead Space, looks gorgeous, but it does have some of the stuttering, which had been fixed in part, but it's still there. And now that Hogwarts, somebody's made a new patch themselves and it's kind of fixed it a little bit. But there seems to be a bit of a trend at the moment where these things are coming out on the PC and they're not very well optimized at all. Even with people high-end machines are struggling. So it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, especially when you have a nice machine and people on consoles are having a whale of a time and struggling, or you're not getting. You might get something which looks a lot nicer than theirs, but it doesn't play as smooth. It's a bit disappointing for being a PC gamer at the moment with some of these games. That's my main thing, which I'm looking forward to, new Cyberpunk DLC when it comes out. I do like the look of that new Atomic Heart, but with it being a small company, I'm a little bit wary. I'm thinking that might be quite bug-ridden. I'm not too sure, but then again, as far as I'm aware, the original idea was it was developed more so for PC in mind, and obviously it's branched onto console, so it might actually fare a little bit better because it started its life off as a PC concept for a game rather than console. So we'll have to wait and see. And that's it. I say nothing much exciting going on. Yeah. Bye.